Alrighty, welcome back, boys and girls. It's your main math man, Mr. Chen, coming to you live from Mayfield. In this video, we're working on that function's x at ticket number 4, where it gives you the set of ordered pairs, which from that you can very easily fill out most of this just by what is given. So we know that anytime we have our ordered pairs, it is always going to be those x and y values. And since we know for domain is those x values, we have 0, -1, 1, and 2. So our domain is just going to be as that is. And then for our range, same kind of idea. We're just saying that our range is -6, -1, 4, and 9. So again, make sure you can see how those are listed. Because we know our domain and range, we also know our x and y values for our table, which we can just simply write them from least to greatest. That way they are lined up. And then make sure the y values correspond with that. So again, since I have a -1 as my x value, my y value should be -6. Again, the other points are paired up like that. And the other simple thing that we can do is we can plot these points. And again, I'm going to use that beautiful head of mine to show those points. So I'm going to say for -1, -6, again, I start at the origin, 1 step to the left, 6 steps down. For 0, -1, that's actually going to be our y-intercept, because that is where the x value equals 0, and our graph of our line is going to hit that y-axis. For the other points, I have 1, 4, and 2, 9. So again, 2 steps to the right, 9 steps up. Again, make sure you're practicing plotting those points. That way, when you go to draw the line, it is perfectly through those points, like so. So now we need to figure out this equation and rule. And we know it's going to be in that slope-intercept form, where it's always y equals mx plus b. Again, m is slope and b is y-intercept. So how would we find that? Well, two different ways. You can either use the ladder. So you could say use the ladder, which is just showing between the ordered pairs on the table, or you can use the staircase, which is on the graph. Again, either way, you will get the same amount, but I will show you both ways. That way it is your choice. So again, on the ladder, again, I need 2 ordered pairs to plot a line. So I'm going to say, all right, what is going to be my slope? Well, to be able to find that, I know that my slope m is going to be the change in y over change in x. And so for my slope, I need to find the change in y. So what's that going to be? Well, my change in y between these first 2 points is just +5. So I can say it's going to be +5. Now my change in x is going to be what? Well, it's going to just be +1. And so that means very simply our slope is going to be the ratio of those two. So you would say your change in y is 5. And then your change in x is just 1. So it would just be 1, or excuse me, it would be 5 over 1, which is the same as just +5. So I know my slope for this is going to be 5. For the staircase method, again, you're saying that you have to go from one point to the next ordered pair, and you're trying to see how many steps up and to the right we're going, since we have a positive slope. So we're going to go from this point here, I'm going to go up 5 steps. So I have, this is going to be +5. And I'm going to go to the right 1 step to go to my next ordered pair. And I can see that that was 1 step to the right. And so that is building that first step. So this staircase should be formed by the repeated pattern that we have. So again, I should be able to go 5 steps up, 1 step to the right, 5 steps up, 1 to the right for each of my ordered pairs. If I can draw a straight line, that would be great. A little bit better this time. That way, you know, again, you can see that we're forming that staircase. And it's a very steep staircase, which is why our slope is a steep slope. And so we know, hey, this is going to work out. So again, whether you're using the ladder or the staircase, as long as you're climbing to the top of success, you know you'll be good. So again, what's our y-intercept? Again, that's where our graph of our line hits the y-axis. And so the ordered pair that we had was that 0, -1, and it's also in our table right there. And so we know, hey, our value for b is going to be -1. So that means our equation is going to be like this. It's just going to be y equals 5x minus 1. Again, for the rule, that's just the right side of the equation, so it'd be 5x minus 1. And then if you can have that repeated in that middle table. And so we can plug in those values like this. Again, our x values always go into the function, and we can check to make sure that these ordered pairs work out using that Desmos calculator. We can say, let's check it out. I have this up. Using that Desmos calculator, again, I can plug in any x value I want, but I want to say, all right, for when x equals -1, our y value is -6. So we see that, hey, that checks out. When x equals 0, our y value is -1, which that is still true. When x equals +1, our y value is 4. And when x equals 2, our y value is 9. Again, make sure you can check those for yourself. That way you know you're good.